My name is Jay.
My name is Rich.
And this is Comic Strip AP of Coriolis, featuring the adventures of Samir Kanaan. When we last saw Samir, he and his comrades on the Scarab were being rounded up out of their sleep cabins by men in full armor. One of them had removed his helmet, revealing a big scar from the top of his skull to the bottom of his jaw, and he offered the greeting, "Welcome to Kua. We've got a lot of work to do."
Great.
So what I'm going to do is we'll do a quick montage. What you do know is, as they're slapping restraints on you, these are metal, not zip tie-like ones, and marching everyone out. Some of the men are running through the ship with scanners, checking things out, doing analysis, looking for hidden folks, hidden things. They're acting like pirates, but they're doing it very methodically with purpose. You realize, based on the sensors and some of the readings on the ship as you're being moved around and moved to leave the ship, that you guys are in the Kua system, right? But you're far from Kua the planet, and you're far from the portal. Most of the portals that you come through are right near the sun. So what the question is where are you in the system? And you're not at Kua right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm definitely confused as to what's going on here. Now, I'm curious, these guys, you say they're all in armor. Do I recognize it? Are these Legionnaires as well?
The armor is not obvious Legionnaire armor, but let's make an observation check and I'll tell you what you see.
All right, that's wits.
That is wits.
I have a limited success.
All right. It is not Legionnaire armor, but you do recognize the guy with a scar, some of his behavior, some of his language, how he speaks to the other folks in armor, walking about, moving about. That is all Legionnaire. The way he communicates with them, the hand signals, the gestures, even his whole attitude. That is all Legionnaire.
Try to get Taba's attention at some point.
What? Keep it down. I'm working on a plan.
Okay, you know this asshole, man?
I don't know any of these folks. They're certainly not Legionnaires.
Come on. Look at the guy with his scar. Look at the way he walks, man. He's definitely one of us. Or was.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think so.
Where are we?
I think these guys... We're in the Kua system. I know that much. I think we're further out from Kua. The only other thing I can think of is Surha, the smuggling planet. It's like the last planet in the system, I think.
Okay.
Which might be bad news for us. That means we could end up being slaves.
Shit. I want to check in with Cylindria. Is she awake? Is she all right?
Yeah, no, I saw them pull her out after they pulled me out. And then they pulled out the pilot and some of my other people. You were last. They seemed to be surprised by you. Like they were short. They had a count and there was one more, which is you. So they seemed to be surprised.
So this doesn't sound like regular pirates then. You think they knew about you coming? Cylindria? Maybe communicated ahead, but they took her out too, right?
Yeah, no, they grabbed her too. She's with the rest of my people, the rest of the crew. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I think we figure out if we can grab some weapons off these guys before they get us too far away from our ship, and we fight back.
Okay, I think that's the way to go.
I'll give you the signal.
Yeah, like old times.
I'd like it to be like old times. We'd be armed if it was old times.
Yeah.
At that point, the guy with the scar walks over and he puts his hand, one on your chest and one on Taba's, and separates the two of you. And he's giving Taba, like, he's mean mugging Taba, right? And then he looks over at you and he says, I'm Mr. Jahl.
Mr. Jahl, I'm Samir.
That is good to meet you, Samir. I'd like to talk to you probably up the bridge. They're going to walk the rest of these folks off and over to my ship. I have some questions. I'm a little confused, and so is my employer. Will you come with me?
Yes, I'll come with you. I give Taba the look like, it's okay, I've got this.
And he's mouthing, wait for the signal. Jahl walks ahead of you, but there's one of the mercenaries in line right behind you. And again, these guys never remove their helmets at all. He's the only one walking around with his helmet off. You get up to the bridge of the Scarab, and there's a woman sitting in let's say the navigator's chair. She's kind of heavy set, a little short, dark skin. She's got a head covering on, and she spins around to look at you, and she goes, "You met Mr. Jahl. How may I call you?"
You can call me Samir.
Samir. You can call me Yarra.
Yarra.
Taba Hamadani, I know, ex-Legionnaire. That's probably all I'm going to say about him. Cylindria Malik, I know, daughter of the late Colonel Malik, Legionnaire. She's the daughter of a Legionnaire. She's also with the Dragonites. What I don't know is who you are, why are you on this ship, and why are you with these people?
I know Taba from a long time back, and he grabbed me because I'm originally from Kua. He thought I could be helpful for something he wanted to do down there.
Okay.
I didn't really volunteer for this. I mean, he said there was some money in it.
She gets up from the chair and she starts to walk closer towards you. And she walks around you, kind of taking measure of you. And then she says, as she's walking around you, and Cylindria?
Cylindria took the ship from Taba, and then we all jumped here because they had a thing they were going to do. I think there's something down on Kua that they want. Could probably find it.
Do you know what it is?
No. I notice we're not above Kua, but we're in this system.
Yes.
What is your employer? What are you employed to get?
We'll get to that. We're not near Kua, and how you answer my next questions are important.
Okay.
We're near the Smuggler's Haven, just at the edge of the Kua system. Are you familiar with this place?
I'm more familiar with Kua than the system, but I know there are some slavers here.
There are. Shortly, we will dock at a station that's in the ring. The planet has rings around it. There are asteroid stations in the rings. One of them is our destination. How we negotiate next will determine if you leave here a free man or if you and your friends are going to be slaves on Kua working the jungles for us. Am I clear? Does that make sense?
I understand.
Is Cylindria paying you?
It's a moment Samir considers the answer to this.
Yes.
She offered me something. It wasn't money to work with her.
Do you trust her?
I didn't know she existed until a few hours ago.
Are you going to do as she asked?
I was planning on it.
If I let you go and I offer you a deal that whatever you find, the moment you leave Kua, you let me know what it is you found. How will you tell your friends if I set you free? How do you sell that you didn't sell them all out? What's that story look like?
What does that story look like is a good question.
Because they're not going to trust you if I just set you all free.
No, of course not. I wouldn't trust me. I think you've got to hurt me. Or you make it look like we escaped because Taba, that's exactly what he's thinking of doing.
Okay. Do we have a deal?
We have a deal.
She nods at Jahl. Jahl rolls his eyes. She gets up to leave. He puts his hand out on your shoulder to keep you in place so she can pass and walk out. And then he says, okay. He gets a key out and he takes your restraints off. He says, I'm going to give you, and he hands you a communicator. When you leave Kua, or when you found whatever it is Miss Malik is looking for, you let us know. If anything goes sideways, like they're onto you, let us know and we'll come help.
Who are you? Who's your employer?
We're Legionnaires. We have a beef with some of the members of the Dragonite families. We don't really care what the Colonel left behind, but we do care what certain families are interested in. Sorry you're in this mess, but help us out and we can help you out and we get this all sorted out.
Mr. Jahl.
Mr. Samir?
My name is Samir Kanaan. I was a Legionnaire. What she offered me was to clear me, to make sure that no one from the Legion would bother me again. Do you offer me that deal?
I can offer you that same deal.
Okay. I work for you then.
All right. I don't know what your friend Taba has planned. Please do not kill any of my men. But you have to sell this deal. Otherwise, your friends won't trust you. And then he walks off the bridge and leaves you there and walks away. What do you do next?
Where do they keep the weapons here?
You do know that Taba has a storage for weapons on the ship, especially heavier things that he might use or just like to have around. Yeah, so you've got from the bridge, and you can get there from the bridge side. So you've got a level down. Next to the chapel is another cargo kind of hold. It's smaller. The chapel, incidentally, is a chapel devoted to the judge icon.
Perfect.
And next to that is a storage where he keeps most of the armor. Yeah, it's pretty much the armory, and he has that right next to the chapel.
Okay. Can I pull up some, we're at the bridge, so I see if I could pull up some cams and see what I see, what is going on, how many people are guarding, what's going on with crew.
So there's a docking connector between your ship and Jahl's ship. Right at the airlock of your ship are your crew members and guards just in a holding pattern waiting to figure out what to do next. Yarra walks out the airlock across the connector back to her ship. Jahl puts his helmet on as he's walking by and leaves his guards and again crosses over to his ship. And everything else is kind of hanging out right there, silent.
In the connector, between the two?
Yes.
How many guards are there?
5.
5?
Yes. And there's 5 of there. Well, you are the 6th man, but if you count Cylindria, there are 5 of your crew, but they're all restrained. And again, they're all seated up against a wall of the connector.
All right. Popping down to the armory, try to get some big guns.
Oh, big guns. Not no regular carbines.
No.
Big guns. Let me see what we have. He's got a small assortment of different pistols. Most of them are Vulcan pistols. He's got a handful, 3 or 4 Vulcan carbines. There's a long rifle down there, and it's probably his most prized weapon down there because it's like it's on its own pedestal shrine kind of area. It's a Vulcan machine gun, and then a different series of ammo, belts, helmets, some pads, cleaners, support stuff, things like that. So the biggest thing he has down there is...
Smoke grenades. Does he have smoke grenades?
Yes. You have smoke grenades.
Good. Now, those guys are in full suits. I assume, I would assume it's some kind of vac suit, so I don't think I'm going to be able to make them cough, but I can definitely keep them from seeing. So my plan...
Yes.
My plan is pretty stupid, but the plan is to toss some smoke grenades and a little bit of fire, and I'm going to try to move in and pull the guys back here. So I'm going to grab some of the carbines, hold them with me, by the straps, so that our guys can arm up. And then the plan is to go around the corner, toss some smoke grenades into the connector, fire a little bit, and then during the panic, just try to grab my guys and tell them come this way.
Get them out?
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds like a plan. So, all right, so let's do this. You grab up your gear. You grab up your smoke grenades. You get up to the connector, the joining airlocks. You have not been seen. You toss the grenades in. They start to fill up. The guards start to shuffle around. No one's returned fire or anything yet. Again, presumably they're in on the plan. Maybe you fire for effect. Or,
that's all I'm after, is firing for effect.
Right, so you fire for effect. Maybe you yell at your guys to get them running back towards your end. Some of those guys start to grab weapons. They have not communicated out loud before now, but now you can hear them talking back and forth, and they're falling into some type of pattern. Some of them make some grabs toward your people, but they don't actually grab them or anything. Some of your crew start to move back towards your side. Everything seems like it's going well. Make a manipulation roll.
Oh, man. Because
this isn't really about the fight. This is about selling the fact that you haven't sold out your crew, haven't turned traitor on them. So
I have no manipulation, so this is straight up empathy.
No, it's straight up empathy, yes.
Oh, my God. That's a failure.
Yes. So you guys come across the connector. Maybe you hit enough of the button on the airlock, so the airlock's shut down. The other connector on this other side starts to pull away. Those guys are running back to their side, or your guys are on your side. They're getting each other loose and things like that. And Taba looks at you and he says, "Well, that was awfully close.
I know.
Let's get out of here."
Yeah. I start running, grab the pilot, and start dragging him towards the cockpit.
Right. And that's that. That's it.
I shoot Cylindria a look if I can.
So you get some time. Everyone's running to their stations. You two don't really have a role. Taba's people, they fly the ship. They do everything. You guys can do support stuff, so no one's looking for you to do anything. He's trying to hightail it out. You hear him cuss when he realizes where you are in the Kua system, and you can feel the ship kind of rock and spin and roll out. He's getting people on guns. Your ship alerts up because it's being targeted. But again, you realize that that's probably all part of the show.
Yeah.
Cylindria is looking at you like she's looking for an explanation. Like, what? We should be dead. She waits. She doesn't say anything. She lets you start the conversation.
We should be dead. That was complete bullshit.
What'd they say to you?
They want to hurt you. They say you're a Dragon Knight.
And she nods and she says, yeah, that's true. So is my father.
Okay. Well, it's Mr. Jahl and Yarra, the two that I talked to. They say they're Legionnaires. Is that true?
And she nods again. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, but they're willing to risk this entire ship to set you on some kind of trail and then, I don't know, hurt you, take whatever you want. I'm not sure.
Are you supposed to help them do that? Is that why they let us go?
Yeah.
Or
you only lied to so many people.
So we still have our deal.
We do.
I need that manipulation roll.
Here we go. That'll be another fail.
She puts her hand to where her gun would have been, but she doesn't have one there, right? You guys haven't rearmed. And she says, okay, but you're going to have to earn it. I don't trust you.
That's it.
I'll be watching you. I don't trust you.
You'll figure out. All my cards are on the table with you.
We'll see.
We'll see. Soundscape music was found on tabletopaudio.com. If you want awesome music for your game sessions, try tabletopaudio.com.
Hi, this is Jason from the Gauntlet. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. We have many other Comic Strip AP shows available, each organized in their own sequential playlist for easy listening. Just go to youtube.com and search for Gauntlet RPG.
Okay. Wow. Poor Samir.
I know. Because at this point, I don't know who you're telling the truth to, right? I don't know who you're really working for anymore. And poor Taba, right? He thinks you guys are still tight.
We could still end up being tight. That is possible. It is not likely, but it's possible.